Yo, what's the word, everybody? This is Critical. My man Vic right here. What's going on, y'all? Yo, we about to check out Smile. Yeah, we about to check. Thank you. Thank you. So we about to get this thing underway and let you know how it's going to be coming soon. Any thoughts? Shit better be good.
Welcome to Critical Blues Reviews. I'm your host, Critical, and today with me I have a special guest you've probably heard us talking about or speaking about earlier. Finally got him on the show. Nikki Lachey hasn't stole his spots. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good, though. We definitely love Nikki Lachey. But, you know, we finally get you on, Vic. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the show, sir.
No doubt. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Yes, sir. You know, for those who have listened to the podcast, you might have heard his voice. Now you can, fit the voice with the person. You know what I'm saying? Right. We finally got you on the show, Vic. So I know I did some footage of us going in the theater. So what was your expectations going in before?
Man, you know, I had seen the coming attraction of this one. I think, what movie was it that I went to go see? I think it was the last Jurassic Park movie. So that was sometime over the summer, and I had saw it, and the one scene it didn't really have any impact on me. It was another scary movie. But then I was waiting to see the Boogeyman somewhere, and I just didn't see it.
Right.
But there was one scene in the trailer where they showed the person standing by the window of a car, and the head flipped upside down. And there was a lady sitting next to me, and we both looked at each other and was like, what the F? So I didn't know what to expect. After seeing that, I knew that I was in for a treat, though, with that one scene. Otherwise, I was not impressed by anything else. So
Right. Same thing here. I felt that if that's the best scene in this film, you know what I'm saying, this movie's going to be whack.
Yeah.
They can't put that scene in the film and that's the best scene.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which was clearly, it got your attention when you watched the trailer.
I've never seen anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've seen a lot of demonic activities and movies and stuff, and everybody running up on walls and crawling around like a friggin' spider-looking creature, but never would they swivel their head like that. So
Right.
I was like, yeah, that was ill. So
We're going to go ahead and get into it. Today, we're going to be reviewing Smile.
you know you gotta do that. You can't say the introduction without
Right. Cheesing your ass off.
Right.
So the director for this film is Park Finn. You might have seen his work called Laura Hasn't Slept. You ever heard of Laura Hasn't Slept? I never heard of it. But he wrote that as well, and he also wrote the Hide Behind.
Okay.
Those are movies. I want to see his style. I'm interested in his style from this film, so I want to check out his indie
some of
films.
his works.
Yeah,
definitely. Actually, now that you mention it, yeah.
Now, the log line for this film is a doctor with a traumatic past is forced to face her past when a new patient brutally murders herself, triggering a creepy entity that haunts the doctor. Now, the character for this film, you have Rose Cotter, played by Sosie Bacon. Hopefully I said her name correctly. You might have seen her work on Narcos, the Mexico TV series. You also have Joel, played by Kyle Gallner. You might have seen him in Scream. And also you have Trevor, played by Jesse T. Usher. You might have seen him in The Boys, the superhero show.
What's his name again? A-Train.
A-Train, yeah.
Yeah, that was A-Train. When I first seen it, I was like, oh, that's A-Train. Man,
You
I thought that was the only show he's ever been in. But
yeah, man.
He's been doing some other things too, though.
Oh, yeah. I think I saw him in something else. I can't remember what else I saw him in. Something recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So what is your take? What did you get from this film when you watched it?
Yeah, I'll say this was an ill-ass movie. It was dope. It was a really good, scary film. Fellas, I'd encourage you to take your ladies or your lady Don't get any popcorn because you're gonna get it all over you.
Yeah, them joints gonna fly.
Popcorn is gonna fly. This is one of the best horror films that I've seen in a long time, where it doesn't lack a boogeyman per se, but for it to like not have the type of boogeyman that you'd expect, for it to like be so creepy. I think that if I want to say anything in reference to like likes, man, it was hella creepy. It was definitely a lot of element surprise, and it was well executed the way they did it, man. And yeah, I'll leave it there just to get your take on it.
Oh yeah. So let me ask you this then. I mean, since you kind of got into the likes, is that all your likes, or is there more you would like to discuss about the likes?
I guess in addition to what I just realized, actually, as far as likes, it's kind of like a like on top of a like. So I was gonna say the music. I like the music that they use, but what I just noticed is that while watching it, in most horror films, you get a sense of that, like something is about to happen by way of the music. But in this film, they didn't really do that, because I guess the way the writers organized the scares, they made sure not to build up any hype behind the music. Like, normally you get that, right. But this time you didn't get that. And maybe it's because so many things was happening in close proximity of each other that it really didn't warrant that. I don't know. But the music was really dope. Sometimes I felt like freestyling over some of the beats.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool, but it still had like a sinister sound to it. The music, the creepiness about it. I've never really watched a film that had so much creepiness to it. And it was like a lot of stuff happened during the daytime. It wasn't even like a lot of stuff happened at night. It was creepy stuff happening in broad daylight.
Right.
Which made it even more creepy. You know what I'm saying? You're not accustomed to that. The sense of hopelessness, like you really kind of start getting invested into the character. But one of the main things that I really, really liked is how the writers was able to kind of pull me as being part of the audience into the film, to where I almost felt like it was me experiencing it, firsthand, because after a while certain things was happening so much, and you feel like your mind is being played with. You forget that the main character is the one who's really experiencing it, because you start tripping out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're
so
right.
I've never. Yeah, this one was. This is a really good film. This is a really, really good film.
Right.
I would go and see it again if I didn't know where all the scare factors were all.
Right. This was a very jump scare heavy.
Yes, heavy.
I wanted to comment on something you said earlier, because I did notice that too, where it would get quiet on certain scenes. And I remember I took a course at SSU. Shout out to the SSU Tigers. And I took a course. It was a film course, and my professor, I'm sorry, I cannot think of her name right now, but she said the reason why you have like the music in the background is so that it prepares the audience for the jump scare. And she was saying that last thing you want to do is scare people when they have a heart attack in the movie theater. They said fuck it on this.
They said to hell with that. Somebody going to the hospital. They wasn't playing. Like, I'll give you a sense of what you can expect. Think of a time when someone scared the heck out of you, and they was laughing and walking away, and you was probably in the middle of saying you play too damn much, and they turned around and scared you right in front of your face all over again. That's kind of what you're gonna get in this.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how many times you get got. Seriously. So
yeah, is that all your likes?
I think
Okay, that's what's up, man. And now my likes. One thing I did like, I liked the transition. I mean, like when it would transition into different scenes.
The videos, like the videography, you mean?
Yeah, like when it goes to another scene, it'll kind of like it'll show like a circle, and then it'll go through the circle, and then it goes to the next scene. The camera shots,
visuals where they would be like
upside down. Yeah.
Oh, that was I forgot about that.
Yeah, like it reminded me of, because I really like the visuals in Candyman, where I can't think of the young lady's name right now, the director. She would do a lot of flipping and made like artwork out of it, and it was the same thing with Parker Finn. He would he would flip it, and you know what I mean. So that was dope. As Vic mentioned, the sound, you know what I mean, like the music that was playing. It was a birthday song. It was a part where it extended it, and it was just like the beat kicked in, and it was like, yo, this shit is hard, yo.
Like, what is this? Like, Eminem is on this? Like,
right.
It was pretty dope.
It was dope, man. Also, too, I did like the, as Vic mentioned, I like the daytime horror. You know what I mean? Like, it let you, it actually, the slower parts were at night.
Yeah.
Then the horror was in the daytime. So basically, you can't hide behind the sun
even
anymore.
In public settings, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was like
you weren't safe.
Nah, you was not safe at all, man.
You weren't safe.
That was really interesting, man.
I mean, it had great suspense, good jump scenes. You might have to disagree with this, but I really love the Smile intro. The intro title scene where it said Smile and it had that.
Man, let me tell you.
Yeah.
They started the film off, it sounded like rave music or like a mosh pit music when it came on, and it was like Tetris blocks used to spell out smiles.
Right, yo. So this is the thing, right? So when I was watching it, we're not on dislikes, but
I know you're not on dislikes, but I guess.
But no, when I was watching it, the reason why I liked it was the fact that when I first thought about it, it sounded like something was coming. You know what I'm saying? It was like prum, prum, prum. Like it felt like it was kind of coming after you.
Yeah.
But then Vic was like, man, the rave music, then my mind switched.
We was in there at the theater.
Yeah, it switched. It went from scary to doggone rave music. Vic in the back just pumping his fists and stuff. So I'm like, all right, maybe that was supposed to be scary. Let me ask you this. What were some of your, before I even get into the dislikes, I did want to talk about, not really likes or dislikes, but it was things that I did notice. I did notice in this film it was very inclusive. Every couple, there was not a couple in there that was just like all black, all white, all whatever. Everybody was mixed.
Okay.
Like even the partners, the cops.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Couples, the main couple character, the sister. You know what I'm saying? As a couple, you know what I'm saying? When it was like a couple situation, everybody was mixed. So I thought that was
really
interesting.
That was
very inclusive. So so it's really hard to really like to put, it's some type of, I don't want to say agenda, but some type of subliminal messaging because everybody was mixed up. You know what I'm saying? Mixed cast, basically. I wanted to talk about the smile, like what the smile represented, if you all seen the trailers. And another thing, too, I want to give a like for the advertising for this film. I mean, it was like at baseball games. They had it was like live baseball games going on. Then you had people smiling at the camera, like the camera would just pan into them. Yeah, you had the commentators like talking about it and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing about the smile and the pain that's behind it, that's like when people go to work every day, especially when you have to go to hospitality type job. You got to sit up there and smile. And let's say if you're having a good day, it's going to be a natural thing. But let's say you're not having a good day. You know what I'm saying? You got pain inside. Your dog died or your cat died. Your man left you. Your lady left you. You find out your lady sleeping with your dude, and you got to come to work and welcome to so and so. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because it's like, I was thinking about that. Like, the pain behind that smile, like you smiling, but it's a sadistic smile. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was very interesting on the smile situation. You know what I mean? So
the meaning behind it.
Exactly. It's a
symbolism, if you will.
Right. You never know what's behind that smile. You know what I'm saying?
Pain, trauma behind that. Yeah.
What are your dislikes for this film?
There wasn't much, if any, dislikes.
The title screen.
I think the title screen. I hate to sound sadistic, but there wasn't, many deaths. I think it was about only
2.5.
2.5. You know what I mean? And to that point, though, I guess this kind of adds to my likes, which is for it to have as minimal deaths as possible in this film, for it to be as creepy and scary as it was. I don't want to say scary because I wasn't scared. Like, I it was like maybe out of all the freaking jump out your seat scenes, I think I might have only jumped once.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh okay.
Yeah, seriously. But everything, nonetheless, it still impacted me even when it was like a jump. I was like, oh snap! Like I wasn't expecting that. Like it was just like a bunch of WTFs. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's what's up. Now my dislikes. You know, I know you were waiting for my dislike. You like, I can't find anything wrong with this joint.
I want to know if there was something wrong, so.
Yeah. Nah, so the dialogue to me, it was like a certain conversation with the couple outside the car. That part kind of brought me down. I was like, it's a little shaky. The acting was a little shaky on that part. You know what I'm saying?
You think that let me ask you something real quick. Do you think that you would want to like attribute that to the actor personally, or do you think it was just bad writing?
I did think about the writing aspect. Like it could be where what was written. No, it was a scene where it was written bad, and it was just like, this doesn't make any sense. Like how are people going to be in a relationship, but yet they're not really supporting each other? If it was written bad, they couldn't bring it home. I'll put it that way. And
so I really think I think I know what scene you're talking about, and I really feel like it was more so on the acting than the writing, because I feel like it was appropriate. The emotion that the writers were trying to display through the actor was appropriate, like the disbelief, right? Like someone is going through something traumatic, but it's like that's impossible, you know. So I can see anybody, for those who aren't spiritually inclined especially, would like be like, yo, what are you talking about? Like, you know. But I just felt like when I was watching the dude, like his acting was kind of like, I don't know, it seemed kind of delayed. Like he was kind of like, move along with the line, Negro, like, or do something. Like, I don't know, I don't know, it was a subpar moment for him.
When he was on The Boys, he hit his lines.
He hit his lines hard. He was good, but in that moment, it was just like, I felt like they should have been like, cut, let's do that again. But he must have been so bad with it, but right for the role, that they just rolled with it. So.
Right, yeah. And also, too, not explaining trope. I hate to not explain. And I get it, it's a horror movie. You got different tropes. You got to have a person that falls. You got to have a person that walks around the house without a weapon. But then you also have the not explaining trope, where the person is like, hey, what's going on? Oh, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Or when, like, it was certain situations where things were starting to connect and make sense. You know, it was like an investigation type scene. Then all of a sudden, the person's like, yo, what's going on? Gotta go. And it's like, come on, man, explain what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying?
So just tell them.
Yeah.
Tell them.
Yeah, exactly.
What you waiting for? Like, tell them.
You know, so that was another thing, too, that, you know, they never tell the significant other the truth. You know what I'm saying? Type of deal. And I felt like everybody in this movie were fucking assholes, man. Everybody was assholes.
What did you mean by it? Because you said that.
Yeah, all right.
And I was like, what do you mean?
All right, the boyfriend, the fiance, the display in the car was asshole-ish. You know what I'm saying? Your lady is trying to confide, like, as a man, no matter even unless she's getting on your nerves. You know what I'm saying? Unless she's, like, trying to poke your buttons, right? That's when you don't want to hear shit. You know what I'm saying? But if your lady is distraught about something you might not even be able to comprehend, you'll do some type of consoling. That's what I felt. You know what I'm saying? You just got your lady from a certain situation, a medical situation. You know what I'm saying? Well,
situation,
you know, of physical harm. Yeah. And yet you have no compassion.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You didn't put it like that.
Like we talking about you had to know this girl to even, or this woman to even get engaged to her. Nothing of the sort has ever come up before. This is new.
It was just like, okay, I see where you're going with it, because it was almost like his disbelief came too
early, too fast. It was a little too fast.
Okay, because the first time there was that show of compassion, there was that consolation.
Right.
Consolation. I hope that's a real word.
Consolation prize. Consultant, not consultant.
Hey, you ain't. He consoled God. So he consoled her the first time, but then it was kind of like, I don't know if it had gotten a little bit carried away, like the second situation. I don't know what happened leading up to that moment in the car, but something happened to where he was just like, I'm done with it. But to your point, yeah, it was a little bit too premature.
Right. I mean, because I know we had the scene where he spoke to the sister and the sister was upset. You know what I'm saying? But it at this point, you want to know what's going on with your wife. I felt like it should have been in reverse. He should have been asking questions, being more concerned, and she should have been more, I don't want to talk about it because it's going to make me look crazy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So now he's trying to like pick and choose, but this I'm about to put on my 10-4 kufi. You know what I'm saying? Notice.
What?
Notice all of a sudden he doesn't want her type of deal. Now I won't say don't want her.
No, I feel
the
what
brother,
you're saying. Like,
the brother he's uninterested in the way. It's almost as if you went on a date with a chick for the second time and she's talking about
wife. That was
fiance.
No, it's his fiance. Yeah.
But still close. You're getting there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like a person went on a date for a second time and then they just come up,
start questioning mad stuff about
I'm seeing things, and then you'll be like, I can see that. Oh damn, we're gonna have to break this off. Boy, I'll talk to you later. I can see that attitude. That's the attitude he had. But then she goes to confide in her ex. You know what I'm saying? And that was the more responsible person. It wasn't the black dude. That was her fiance. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was like, they mixed it up to where if it was some subliminal messaging, you can't really call it out. But I got my 2-10-4 kufi hat on. I'm always gonna call it out, no matter how you mix it.
I see where you go. I can see how. I could. If there was an agenda, I peeped the message that it's still sending. Right. It's still leaving that notion that you can't depend upon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. You better off.
You know what I'm saying?
Which was fine. I mean, I was like, all right, cool.
I get that.
But
I didn't see it last
it.
night, but I peeped now what you're going with it.
But the whole point was to get on the asshole part. Now, even the ex, right? The ex was an asshole because it wasn't an asshole in the sense of being rude, but in the sense of being rude. Your lady's in a relationship.
He's just disrespectful.
You know what I'm saying?
Disrespectful.
But they made him the white knight. But
who checked him though? It was a black lady.
But then she wanted to date him afterwards. Yo, 10-4 kufi's on, yo. I was peeping, yo. When I was watching, I said, I was writing down.
That's a good point. She did.
I was like, because every black woman wants a white man in these movies. That's how it is.
That's a good point.
But yeah, that was some of the things that they like.
I guess you dug out something.
The cop, the black cop. He was an asshole. Remember what the whole time when they were finding out about the first victim, and they had Rose in the questioning. They were questioning her about what happened in the hospital. You had the two cops. It was the ex-boyfriend, and it was the black cop. And the black cop was real rude. Remember, he was just and he was saying like using these very insensitive words. I'm like thinking like people wouldn't really talk like that.
Nah. It was the other cop though. It was the
It was the white cop, which was a boyfriend, and it was the black cop.
Now when she was, man, I'm gonna kind of give away the movie right now. But when they basically was questioning her, and the two dudes was right there, one of them was being really insensitive.
That was both of
them. No, both of them was being insensitive, but one of them was just kind of being like, and was it the black cop? It was the other dude?
No, the other dude was her ex. That's why he went up to the hospital to check up on her after the whole interrogation. Not interrogation, it was interrogating.
That was the same one that got checked, right? That got checked by the black woman. Right?
Yeah.
He wasn't in the son. That was two different people.
No, that was.
Son, you wildin'.
No, you wildin'.
You wildin' right now. You wildin' right now.
Yeah, at least I know.
Son had like he had a bald spot in the middle of his head and everything.
What? Did you fall asleep on this movie?
I did, but I don't see.
Man, you and Nikki Lachey be seeing what the fuck y'all be wanting to be seeing, nigga. Y'all niggas need to sit on this side.
He had on a suit jacket. Did he have a suit jacket?
Son, he said he was bald head in a bald spot.
No, he had
looking like George Jefferson.
Looking like George Jefferson. Son look like George Jefferson.
Yo, you tripping right now.
Oh man,
I don't know what you were watching, yo. Cause I mean, maybe you missed that part. Cause I know when he came back up to talk to her, and I was like, oh, that's when I was like, oh, that was the ex-boyfriend that was in the
So all right, so let me get this. Let me get this right. So that dude who got checked by the black woman, and she was like, you do know that she's engaged,
right?
That's her ex,
right? That's why he was like, "Oh, now you want to come back around?"
Right.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the same police. That wasn't the same dude, son. That was in the room with the black dude.
You could ooh and ah. It's still the same dude. It wasn't the same dude. It was the same dude. It was the same dude.
Nah,
because remember,
bugging.
Why? Remember, you got to think that during the investigation, I'm gonna quote the investigation between her and her ex.
Yeah.
Why he had the files? Remember, he was able to go inside the files.
I mean, that's cool. He could still be a police officer, but he wasn't no detective.
He was a detective.
He wasn't a detective, bro.
That was him. That was in the room with her. Because remember, he didn't want to ask any questions.
He was just dressed up in his detective wear, maybe.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he never had on a police outfit. I mean, he was a detective.
No, he never had on a police outfit. But did all right? So let me get this straight. Maybe this will straighten it out for me. Did he have on a suit jacket?
Yeah.
In the room.
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember exactly, like a beige or plaid something. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well,
but I was paying attention.
Okay.
I was mostly because the thing was, and maybe not get this because if you think about it, it's perspective. How it was set up was the ex was meant to, feel bad about the situation that with his ex-girlfriend went through seeing somebody get murdered. So his thing was he was quiet. You know what I'm saying? The other cop the black cop was just being an asshole, being insensitive, saying all of these, psychological, when people nut cases, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, he did say that nutcase stuff.
Yeah, he kept doing stuff like that. And remember, she was getting upset with him, and then the ex-boyfriend would try to maintain the peace, like, hey, then he was like, yo, remember you apologized to? He said, yeah, I'm sorry, what happened back there, type of thing. You know what I'm saying? I just came up here to check on you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that makes sense.
It was. I was like, why are everybody assholes? You know what I'm saying? Because not a cop just being an asshole just to be an asshole, or the detective, the black detective.
Yeah.
Just being rude for no reason. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, everybody in this movie are just assholes. I don't understand why.
Okay.
That was one of the things I noticed. Yeah. So your comparisons. Would you compare this film to?
Before I go to the comparison, I just want to say one thing. I think I did dislike is when the main character was looking for answers and she visited that lady, and the lady tripped out over her.
Asshole. Go ahead.
I felt that was because I was like, if somebody was saying like, yo, I've experienced the same exact thing, you know what I'm saying, as your loved one, why would you react like that? Like, I would have been like, for real, what are you experiencing? What do you, I don't know. I wouldn't have felt like I just felt like her emotions, her response was just like, was off. And it was like, well, it wasn't over the top because clearly she's still dealing with some things.
Right. Yeah.
So that's cool. But I just felt like it didn't seem like a justifiable response. It seemed like she should have been like more intrigued, like
right. At least tell her, like, yeah, I kind of felt that too. But I think,
and they could have steered it in that direction, like, no, get out. You know what I'm saying? After a while, but that's like she just got turned off immediately.
Right. I think it was one of those things where it was written for her to look for answers, and she had to get stopped on every way. And for her to be blocked, the only idea they came up with was for people to be assholes. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like
for her to be on her own, she had to be by herself. Like, push her in that direction. Like,
and the woman, I felt like it was a warranted asshole energy because, like you said, she suffered from her own trauma experiences with a loved one, and she might believe or could have believed something was up. We don't know, but the fact now you bringing up old stuff, and now
I got to deal
hypothetically
with that.
Now I got to deal with the fact that hubby wasn't lying type of deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, that's true. That's true.
So I felt like that was a warranted assholeness. You know what I'm saying? That's what I kind of got from it. So
comparisons.
Oh, comparison. Yeah.
So I would say I was trying to find like at least 2 movies to combine, but I really couldn't. I feel like the only film that I could compare this to is I was trying to find 2 good ones. It's just one. It's High Tension.
That's a good one. High Tension. Yeah, that's a good one.
Bro. That's a good one. If y'all haven't seen High Tension, it came out in 2005. That's gonna mess your head up. High Tension. Go check it out.
High Tension. Okay.
Plug.
Yeah. You have any other?
Nah, I couldn't think. I was trying to like look up some things to really compare it to. I think there was one with Halle Berry in it.
Or Gattaca. Was it Gattaca?
I think Gothica.
Gothica.
Yeah,
that was a supernatural mind fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
So I say like Gothica meets High Tension.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I say The Ring. I got Ring vibes. The Grudge and Final Destination.
Final Destination?
Final Destination. The reason why Final Destination, the clues. Going for the clues. The Ring, Final Destination, they all had to find out what's this mysterious source that's happening, and they go back and find the clues, that part of it. They go back and trace the trail of what happened. Mainly this happened in the first one. Remember the boy that kind of remind you of Eminem? He kind of had to go back and find out what was going on. He was doing the little chart and all of that stuff. Who said in this?
You know what? This also puts me in the mindset of not so much the horror of it per se, but more of the speed of the film and the feeling. You ever saw The Eye?
Yeah, about the woman who's blind.
She's blind, and then like the chick gotta like go to Mexico and all this other stuff, and she had to like I guess the girl burnt up in the house or something. They burnt her up in the house or something like that.
And she would see things. She would see
she
like
kept on,
images.
I guess she had like an eye transplant, and she kept on seeing like what the girl saw.
I think before they died, they would see like the spirits come and get the person because you had that big bridge scene.
Right. I kind of feel like that. It kind of gave that kind of that speed and sense of, I guess, creepiness.
Right.
Yeah, so. Yeah.
Okay. One of the themes I would say for this film, I rarely do themes, but this one really stuck out. And they even said it, and I was like, damn, I'm not going to be the smart cat in the room. I'm not going to be the big brain in the room. Mm-hmm. But the theme is trauma. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what
it boils down to, is trauma.
Yeah. And
actually, and to add to that, if we go back to you take that theme and then you put it together with how we were breaking down smiling through trauma.
Right, wearing a mask.
Yeah. Through trauma. Mm-hmm. That's what we all do, and that's basically what it boils down to.
Right.
And a monster that I could create inside of us.
Exactly.
When you don't have anybody else there to support you.
Yeah.
When you witness trauma and there's nobody there to support you.
And you got to go through it all by yourself.
And you got to go through it all by yourself, and the isolation that it creates.
And you can't show that you're crazy. You can't lose your shit. You know what I mean? And so you wear this smile.
Yeah.
You wear this smile on your face.
This is a good one, y'all. This is a really good one.
So your rating. What would you rate this good sir?
Oh man. I want to say 8.5. The only reason why I won't go to 9 or 10 is because the body counts. And based off of the dislikes, I'll take a point off of some of the things that you highlighted as far as the dislikes, because there was instances of maybe some poor acting. So I'll just shave off a point there. But it was more so about the body counts. Because some way, somehow they were still able to add gore, as the gore and the scare. But it's like definitely 8.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna give this. I was thinking about 8.5 as well. 8.5. I have 8. Oh, 8 what? 8 what?
Oh, 8 face peels.
Okay, 8 face peels. I'm gonna give this 8 dead mustaches.
That's a good one.
8 dead mustaches.
I've
been doing it for a while, baby. Gotta come up with something.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So hey, y'all check that out. Y'all find out. You know what I'm saying? The 8 dead mustaches when you see the film. But yeah, man, this was definitely a treat. This was a highlight. I definitely have to put this in the forefront of horror movies for 2022. The Orphan was on my list.
Orphan and this one so far.
So yeah, I guess you're gonna have to see Barbarian to see how would you rank that.
I'm gonna check that. I might check that out tonight.
Then
I'm going to check that out tonight.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch that tonight for sure.
Then you got the interview that's out. I got to check that out. And Leaky Lachey told me about Bodies. So
I heard that one too. She mentioned, so I'm gonna check that out. So.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Oh, would you like to give people your social media where people can reach you? Might get some young ladies to jump in your DMs.
Not really. Not. It's all business purposes. This guy's crazy. Anyway, I'm not. Listen, look. If you're interested in getting a little bit of insight on managing your finances, getting your credit up, you can find me at Core Credit LLC. Look me up on Instagram, the Core Credit LLC.
Business first, then pleasure.
Business first and focus a primary.
That's right. That's what's up.
And then pleasure.
You can reach me at Critical Blue Reviews on Instagram, Critical with a K, Critical Blue Reviews on Twitter, and Critical Blue with a K, of course, on Facebook. And if you want to check out my other podcasts with me and Vic, we did some other stuff. We even broke down in one of our just different films, black characters, I believe, one time. You know what I'm saying? I think we called it the Black Monster or something like that. Yeah. So
that was pretty cool too.
Yeah, and then we also did one where we even talked about how we need more women monsters. Women
representation.
Yeah, in the antagonists in horror films, and how we they're more the creepiest. You know what I'm saying? They really are. So so check our stuff up, Critical Blue Reviews. You just Google it and put podcast, Critical Blue Reviews Podcast, and check it out there. And check out my other stuff as well. You know what I'm saying?
On YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube. Yeah, definitely, man. And I appreciate you coming by, Vic. I know it took us a minute to get this up and running. We were supposed to knock this shit out last night.
It's all good, though. It's all good.
But we finally got it working, man. And I appreciate you for being patient. For real. That's what's up. All right.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Y'all enjoy. And 1.